Shemai Elite Chums, this video is all about the full spectrum scanner. Now this is not just a utility for explorers, but you'll also need it for your missions and for high-grade emission signal sources discovering. So first off, you need to find a system. And then the other important thing is, for beginners, you're going to need to get the keybound sort out. So go to Options and go to Controls, Ship Controls, and come on, click on. We're going to go down to mode switch. So mode switches and the bottom of the menu is FFS mode. How to enter it is this dash button, whatever that is. I've bound it to joystick 13, and then you want to go down to full spectrum system scanner and make sure you've got the camera pitch and yaw, and the zooming in and out is essential. Tuning is very much essential. You're going to need all of those set up and bound. Bear in mind, I use a joystick, but only because I use a joystick. I wouldn't do if I had a choice. I'd use a mouse because it's a lot easier. So let's get out of that. And let's have a look at the spectrum scanner, shall we? So first off, you're going to need to descan the area. First off, actually, I'll show you the system. So everything's unexplored. So what we need to do is a descan. This is the honk, as it's known. So press and hold, and then honk, and that'll show us how many bodies there are. There's 12. Now, if we're going at speed, you're going to go to 0 throttle. Also, you need to move away from the star system, the star, to be able to start doing this. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to go throttle 0, and then get into your full spectrum scanner. On the bottom, you have a tuning dial. So there's these signals here. You can see the flat line is the non-signals, and the signals are always going to be in the same place for each specific item. So we've got asteroid clusters there. Notice the bottom right, it tells us exactly what it is. And we've also discovered some 3 things there for a start. High metal content worlds and rocky bodies. Somewhere up here is water worlds and earth-like worlds. Somewhere around there. There we go, earth-like and water worlds. They also have colours as well. So earth-like are green. They'll show up once you've scanned them. Gas giants are quite useful. I'd always zone into gas giants because the other stars are normally around gas giants to start off with. If you're doing planet scanning as in exploring. Back here is quite useful. This is what you want to find signal sources like high-grade emission signals. So there's going to be lots of them in here. So you just go over to them. Notice it circles in a white circle, and that's degraded emissions. You just go up here to the other one. Now, for everyone that you're tuned into, it will show up as a little white circle dot. But if it's a signal you're not tuned into, it'll show up as a white blob. So like a ghost. So notice those ghosts that are appearing, and that's one that's nearly tuned in with the dashed line. So let's find out what it is. Notice when we're tuned into the correct one, we start getting these white lines. These are indicators. We've got left and right. And see, so that's indicating those 2 there. But let's go back to the one that it was dead on. And this is going to be a it's a fleet carrier. There we go. You can listen to the fleet carrier noises as well. We don't want to find, there's probably a few fleet carriers around here. Asteroid clusters we don't want. We want high metal content worlds. Let's have a look for some of them. Okay, there's one. Now, when we zoom in, sometimes it wants you to zoom again. Notice it's picked out something else. Now, what is this? Let's just see what it is. It's not what we were looking for, but nevertheless. There we go. Some rocky body. Lovely job. But let's go back to what we were looking for. So notice we're following the arrows, and it shows up as a ghost first before it shows up as a body. There we go. That's a body. Now, just zoom in and zoom out with your zoom in, zoom out buttons. And along this bar down below, you can also search for your not only your signals but your missions as well. Like there's going to be attacks, and don't forget pirate massacre missions. You can find the pirate massacre missions from the gunfire and all that, and threat levels will show up in here. But once you have tuned into them and selected them, they will then show up on your side menu, so you can then go over and take a closer look. So there we go. Coal sector B5, B5A we've spotted, and there's some signal sources as well. Degraded emissions, so we could have HGEs in there as well. So that is the full spectrum scanner as a whole. I hope that's been very useful. Drop any questions you have down below, and I will try and answer them as best I can if you ask me clearly. And we might want to use the overcharge to get to a planet, but I don't really want to do that. But thank you very much for watching. Have a most excellent day if you are playing Elite Danger A.